Hello and welcome back. It's puzzle time with Sudoku Sleuth, and today we're playing Pears. And you can see here Sleuth standing under a pear tree picking some off. You can see they're clearly very ripe, ready for the picking. And already a box of pears. And is that an apple? No, just a kind of oddly shaped pear. That's already in the box as well. I'm not entirely sure I get the significance of why is the puzzle called Pears. But at least the rule set will be fairly straightforward, even if I don't quite get the significance of the title. Speaking of which, let's take a look at that straight away. So we've got Pears, by Kennet's dad. And Kennet's dad, once again, just up front tells you what all the rules are. Disjoint subset, I'll explain what that is in a second. Arrows, German whispers, and consecutive pairs. Maybe it's a play on consecutive pairs? Who knows? So first off, normal Sudoku rules apply. That means place the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, in every column, and in every 3x3 box. Then we have the disjoint rule set. So in essence, the way to think about a disjoint rule set is this cell here, which is in position 5 in box 6. If that is a 2, not only can neither of these, well, I say neither, none of these could be a 2 because they're in the same column or in the same row. It also means that none of these can be 2 because they're in the same position in a different box. And even though these cells in particular can't see that 2 under normal Sudoku rules, they still cannot be 2 under the disjoint rule set. What else do we have? We've got digits along an arrow summed to the digit in that arrow circle. So for example, if this is 1, 2, 3, then this arrow circle here is the sum of whatever is on the arrow. So 1 plus 2 plus 3 is 6. You'd have to write a 6 in here. And that will be true for all the arrows and sums that are shown. Then we have German whisper lines. So adjacent digits on a green line must have at least a difference of 5. So for example, if this is a 6, this would have to be a 1 to be 5 or more away. If this is a 2, this would have to be from 7, 8, or 9. Anything else we have? Yes, we do have the consecutive rule set, the white Kropke dot. So these cells essentially have to be consecutive in some order. If that was a 2, this would have to be 1 or 3. But then obviously you have to play that through. If that was 2 and this is a 1, that we back up to 2, that won't work. 2, 3, 4, that would be a valid set of pencil mark for this white Kropke dot. Now it doesn't say anything about negative constraints for the white dots. So I'm thinking that 1, 2, 3 here is absolutely fine without any white dots in between them. And that's all the rules that we have for today. Now I'm just trying to look at the grid one more time. Could that be like... Yeah, I'm not getting it. Hopefully Kennet's dad will see this video, will explain what the title is all about. But if you already have a clue, you feel free to comment down below. But as usual, if you want to play along, link will be in the description down below as usual. And with that said, I'm going to restart the clock, see how I get on. So I'll tell you what I'm thinking straight away. The minimum this can be is 1, 6. And this is quite significant actually, because I've got 3 cell arrows. And the maximum you can ever put on a 3 cell arrow where all the digits have to be unique is actually 6. Let me show you what I mean by this. Let's imagine that this is 6 and this is 1. I don't know what it is, but that's the only way you can actually complete a German whisper line, essentially a low digit from 1, 2, 3, 4, a high digit from 6, 7, 8, 9. But I'm already at the maximum digit I can place on a 3 cell arrow, because with 6, with 1 and 2, I'm already at 9. So a long way of saying that these are 1, 6. Both of them actually are 1, 6, because all of them have a 3 cell arrow that has to be unique. The other thing that I'm seeing is whichever one is the 6 definitely has a 1 above it, definitely has a 2 beneath it, and then definitely has an a 9 above it. essentially 6, 1, 2 with a 9. And I just don't know which order it is. I'm actually going to just humor me for a second, just for my benefit, just to sort of see if I can actually understand what's going on. Because of this 1 here, it has to be in this box, then the 2, then the 9. Then the question is, you see, they actually sort of play off one another. Specifically, this cell has to be different. So if this is 1, because of the disjoint rule set, this would have to be 6. Then again, the same setup, 1 and 2, would have to be in here. And notice that 1s and 2s can no longer occur in these two cells, because one of these is a 2, one of these is a 2. They both see each of these cells. So essentially, the minimum I can make this now is 3, 4, and an 8. And in fact, that is the maximum because it can't be a 9. So it ends up being a 1, 3, 4 with an 8. And then I'm assuming, yeah, if I take a look at the other side, this can't be 2 because of this 2. This can't be 2 because of that 2. So again, this is 3, 4. This is 8. Sorry, this is 9 and this is 8. And then hopefully, probably this box. Actually, we can even take this a lot further forward down here. Even here, for example, with 1, 3, 4, I have 2 cells to make up an 8. Well, it's not 1, 7. It's not 3, 5. It becomes 2, 6. And then with the 9, 1, 8 is gone, 2, 7 is gone, 3, 6 is gone. This becomes 4, 5. So once I figure out which one is the 1, which one is the 6 and the 1, a lot of the grid suddenly becomes forced. And I bet you that something down here will help me figure out what it is. But I just want to see if I can just maybe finish this sentence for a second. Let's just think about these two cells. So essentially, this is not 1, 2, 3, or 4. This is the high digit, and it's not 6 or 8. It is 7 or 9. And then the 7 would require 1 or 2, which is not available. So that is forced to be a 9. And the low digit that is available is 1, 2, or 4. It can only be a 3. I'm going to keep this broken, or I'm deliberately going to keep going with this for a second as is. I mean, because obviously this could be 1, this could be 2, these could be 3, 4. Yeah, I may as well let's just finish this correctly. That would be the full pencil mark. And the reason I'm going to do that just on this side for a second is I'm actually interested now in the interplay between box 9 and what's going on here. Because you can see that as we did this with the 1, 3, 4 setup, the chance that this is low is actually, like the options for it being low is actually quite limited. And I can actually see already that I have this the wrong way around. Let me show you this. Oh, am I? No, I have got this the right way around. So let me just think out loud. Essentially, the 3, 9 here means there are no 3s and no 9s in this row. And then there is the interesting question of what is this cell? Now, actually, imagine that it was the other way around. It was 1, 3, 4, and 8. So essentially, just swap these two columns around. What is this cell then? So one option would have been, is it's a 2, but then because both 1 and 3 are in the column, that immediately breaks. So it would have to be a high digit. If it is a high digit, what can it be? Well, it can't be a 6. Here, I'm actually going to reverse it just to sort of show you. Because I think this is sort of proof that it has to be 9, 6, 1, 2. That it actually has to be as I had pencil marked it earlier. So my options now, this has to be a high digit. It is not 8. It could be 6, 7, or 9. If it is 6, that needs to be a 1, and it can't be. So that immediately breaks. If it's 7, again, that has to be 1 or 2, and neither of them are available. Then the last option is 9, because 8's not available. And then what is the single digit that is adjacent to 9? Well, it's 8 and I've already broken it. So I am going to reverse this. This is 6, this is 1, this is 2, this is 1, this is 9, this is 8. And these are 3 4s. And then remember, this cell with a disjoint set tells me that's the other way around. That's 6, that's 1. Therefore, that's 1, that's 2, that's 9, that's 3, that's 9. These need to add up to 9, and it's not 1, 2, or 3, it's 4, 5. This is 2, 6, this is an 8. This is not 1 or 2, this is a 3, 4 pair. Can I keep this going? Have I got anything else disjoint-wise that's helping? I'm not sure there is, if I'm honest. But anyway, back to the cell, which is sort of how it allowed us to actually place some digits. Goodness me, it took us until minute 7 to place any digits, but suddenly we got a whole avalanche of them. So I don't think this can be a high digit, can it? It might be okay, actually. I'm just thinking, is it a high digit or is it a low digit? And it can't be a 7. Yeah, it can't be a high digit. So my options here are 7 and 8. No, 8 is fine, actually. 7 doesn't work, because 7, what is adjacent to it? Well, it's not 6, it's 8. And then this cell would have to be 9, which breaks. However, I can do 8, 7, 6. That seems to be okay. And next to it would be a 2, because 1, 3, 4 are gone. So that looks okay to me, unless there is some sort of disjoint set that is breaking it that I cannot see, and I can't see any. Now, the other option is that this is a 3, 4, 5. Hang on, sorry. Before I do that, let's just see what happens if I go with this. What happens to this German whisper line? So essentially, all the high digits are gone from this column. This would have to be low. It would have to be 3 or 4, which would require this to be 8 or 9. I've already placed the 8, so it would have to be 9. So far, this actually seems to work. And the 3 or 4 doesn't seem to conflict with any disjoint set. Interesting. Nor does the 8, nor does the 7, nor does the 6 for that matter. Then 1 would be somewhere in here, then I have another 3, 4, and a 5. I'm not seeing any problems. Right, the other option is this is 3, 4, yeah, 3 or 4. And that would require this to be, if it's 3, it's 4, then 5, because it can't go back down to 2. If it's 4, because that can't be a 3, it'll be 4, 5, 6. So this is always a 6, interestingly. No, hang on, because I could have done 3, 4, 5. What happens with 3, 4, 5? This becomes 7 or 8, which works because that becomes a 2, since from all the... So these are essentially opposites. If this is high, this would be high. If this is low, this would be low, is the way I'm tempted to interpret it. Yes, because whichever one is here, this, well, hang on. If I do 4, 5, what happens? That I can still do 3 and 9. Goodness. Right, let's just write down all the options. 3, 4, 5. The 3 would need to be next to an 8 or 9. It can't be next to an 8. It would have to be 9. 3, 4 would make this a low digit. It would have to be from 7, 8, and 2. This is a 2, 9 pair, potentially. Now, if this was 4, I could do 4, 5, and 6. Sorry, 6. The 4 would have to be next to a 9. 4, 5 would make this 3. Actually, 4 would make this a 9, which would make this sorry, 4, 5 means this is 3, 7, or 8. The 3 won't have 8 or 9, so it wouldn't be 3. And the 4 is already placed, so it would have to be 7, 8 with a 2. So this is, in fact, a 2, 9 pair. Then one of these is a 1. That's as far as I could take it for some reason. And I really don't seem to have any disjoint sets that's helping me out here. Interesting. How do I move forward? So there's always a 5 in here, because it's either 6, 5, or 4, 5. Actually, that's not even true. I could do 8, 7, 6, so it doesn't always have to have a 5. Excuse me. One is one of 2 cells. I'm going to do a bit of disjoint sets for a moment just to see how much I can actually complete. So classic Sudoku rules 1s out of these cells. Disjoint set removes 1 from here. Then I'm left with 1s there. Then if I just think about, again, where 1s are ruled out because of these 1s. Still too many options. What about in here? 1 of 2 cells. Can't seem to rule either of them out. Here is something. Because of the disjoint rule set, essentially, for every digit, such as 1, you need to have it in one of every one of these squares. So which box allows me to have a 1? No, I really thought I was onto something. I was thinking, where can 1 go in sort of cell 5 in a box? The answer is it's in 2 places. So one of these is a 1. Okay. Disjoint set. There it is. 2. That's 9. That's 2. Therefore, this is high. This is 8. This is 7. This is 6. This is low. It is 3 or 4. And then I have another 3, 4, and a 1, and a 5. This is not 3, 4, or 1. It is, in fact, the 5. And this is 1, 3, 4. Disjoint sets not helping me again. Right. Then I have another 3, 4 and a 5. So 3, 4, 5, and I'm not quite getting the significance of this. Then this is not 1, 2, 3, or 4, 5. This is 6 or 7. 6 can only be in here. That's the 7. 6 is in one of 2 cells. Two is looking at this 2, 6. This is 6. This is 2. As you've seen, it's quite easy to miss out on disjoint set conclusions. So I'm just trying to be extra careful, and I'm not, if I'm honest, particularly succeeding. This is 7, 8, I'm going to say. That 7 gives me an 8, a 7, a 5, a 7. Does that 5 help me? I don't think it does. Well, it does here. That's not a 5. That's a 3, 4 pair. Therefore, that's a 5. Then I have another 3, 4. Then an 8, 9, which can't be in this cell because of this 8, 9. So this is 8, 9. This is 3, 4. This is all complete. I should be able to actually pencil mark all of these now. This is 2, 5, and 7. You can see the 5 and 7 are not in this cell. That's 2. This is 5 and 7. Does, again, the disjoint set help me at all? 7, 5 and 7. No, I'm looking at the wrong side. This column doesn't help me. This column does. Hang on. No, it doesn't. Yeah, actually 5, 4 and 5. That 4 means that's not a 4, that's a 3, that's a 4. That 4 gives me a 3, which means these are not 3s. This is a 1, 4 pair. This is the 3, that's the 4. 1 and 4 in here. I got anything? No. 8 and 9? Again, no. Okay. Right. I mean, we're basically done, largely done, I say, with the exception of that 4 gives me 1, 4, with the exception of the disjoint rule set and normal Sudoku rules. So I think it's time to sort of do a bunch of pencil marking and see how far it takes me. Such as 4 and 5 in row 2 can only be in here. These are 2, 3. Have I got anything that will clear them up? That 3 here tells me that's a 2, that's a 3. This 4, 5. I'm not sure there is anything. Maybe? I'm looking around and I'm not seeing it. So we'll keep going. Can I do a similar trick? This 4 and 1? No. I mean, there is a 4 in here. 5 and 8? No. 5 is there. Disjoint set, yeah. 8 is in one of 2 cells. Disjoint set, yeah. And that's 8, that's 1. Remember what I was saying earlier about the 1s in box 5. The only place that's left is in here now. That's all the 1s done. We need a 7. This is a 6, 7 pair. That 7 tells us that's not the 7. That's the 7, that's the 6. 8 and 9 in here. That 8 tells us 8 and 9. I need a 3 that can only be in here. I need another 8, 9. And again, checking for disjoint sets. And I'm actually not seeing any. Doesn't mean that they're not there. I'm just not seeing any. Let's keep it going. What is going on with this row? So 2 can only be in here. Nothing with disjoint sets. 1, 2, 3, 4 is in here. 5, 7 and 9. That's not 9. Could this be a 9? Yes, it looks like it could be. Oh, no, it's not 5, 7 and 9. It's just 5 and 7. 7. One of these is a 7. Okay, how about this box instead? Should I be just not looking at disjoint sets anymore? Probably. 3, 4, 2, 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4 is in one of 2 cells. This is 4, 6. This is 7 and 9. These 2 cells, that's not a 4 anymore. That is the 4. These two cells are known. This is 5, 7. That 5 tells me that's the 7, that's the 5. Does that 5 keep going? Yes, it does. That's 4, that's 5. That 4 gives me 6, and 4 stops here. Okay. We need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is in here. 6 is in there. 9 is in here. Right. 9 gives me, finally, 8 and 9. That disjoint 9 gives me an 8 and a 9. That 9 gives me 7 and 9. Right. Quick classic Sudoku now. 3, 4, 5, 6 can only be in here. That's a 7. And if I've not made any mistakes, that's an 8 for the solution. That's a lovely puzzle. Kennet's dad, once again. Fantastic puzzle. I am still struggling, as you can see, with disjoint set. It took me a long time. I can't even remember. Was it this 2 or the 9 to see that and just make some progress? But I mean, the break-in was phenomenal. Just seeing how forced all of these are, seeing the relationship between these two, I think this was just fantastic. And then obviously having box 9 sort of break it all. Hope that you guys enjoyed the puzzle and the video. And now Kennet's dad does have a profile on Logic Masters Germany, KMD. He also has like a subscription where you can actually sort of subscribe to more puzzles from him. And as you can see from the quality of the puzzles that we featured from him, they're absolutely stunning. Hope that you guys enjoyed it. See you back for the next one. Bye-bye for now.